from a Cardinals fan's perspective, we got your first perspective on the Cohn phone on over the weekend. It was great. But now that you've seen some details, what do you think of it now?
I still don't like it. I see a lot of people comparing it to Jalen Hurts' contract, but the difference between Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts is that Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, when he like Brock Purdy can scramble, but when Jalen Hurts scrambles, like there's actually a real threat there. Like I don't like that comparison between Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts because even when it comes to Jalen Hurts has a better arm than Brock Purdy. And it's like, okay, not even the situation, the GM, the front office, it's completely different. I know you guys think that I'm completely biased and I hate 49ers fans. I don't hate you guys. Like, I'm just looking at it objectively as I can from the perspective of a Cardinals fan, obviously. But even your GM, like, it doesn't draft as good as the Eagles. Like, the Eagles have one of the best drafting GMs in the entire league. So it's like, you're not putting the same thing that you're putting around Jalen Hurts through the draft. So it's like, it's not the same situation at all. So I just don't look at it as an ideal situation.
Yeah, there's one more thing. Like, you could argue that Jalen Hurts is like Brock in the sense that they're both system quarterbacks who aren't quite worth the money they're making. But like on the Eagles, behind that offensive line, a lot of quarterbacks would look good. And it seems like if you're going to make that kind of investment in a borderline quarterback, if you put him behind a great offensive line, you could feel pretty confident that you're going to get production and that he's going to be on the field. I mean, the Lions have the same thought process with Jared Goff, who is kind of in the same tier as Brock Purdy. The Niners aren't doing that. And that's kind of strange to me.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's another thing, bro. It's just like the Niners O-line. Like, I know a lot of people look at the Niners O-line and they look at Trent Williams. And it's like, when it comes to the offensive line, it's a position group. It's not about one guy. It's never been about one guy. And that doesn't mean that Trent Williams is the only great guy on your team because, your center is pretty good. I'm pretty sure I forgot his name. And then
Brendel.
Cole McKivitz.
Cole McKivitz. Jake Brendel.
Cole McKivitz. Jake Brendel, yeah. Jake Brendel, Cole McKivitz, they're good players. But you lost your depth. Like, you need depth at offensive line. This is not a position where you can go without depth. Like, these are guys that are on the field every single play for 17 games throughout the season. So somebody is going to get injured. It's just a matter of when. And having that, and then with the Brock Purdy, and then not being able to draft as good and not investing in that offensive line still, I just don't see how that benefits you guys actually having a good season.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the 49ers extended Brock because they thought it was the best option. Not necessarily they were like super excited to do it the way the Bills were excited to extend Josh Allen earlier this offseason. I think they felt it was their best option. But do you think it was their best option? I mean, they could trade it.
No. If I was the 49ers, man, like, I would have just hit a soft rebuild. Like, what would have been scary for me as a Cardinals fan, right? Even if the 49ers would have said, all right, in the third round, I'm going to take Jalen Milroe, like the Seahawks did, and said, all right, I'm gonna have Brock Purdy, and then I'm going to let Jalen Milroe sit for a year, and I'm going to develop him. All right, you don't want to draft him in the third round. That's fine. Let's wait, all right? Get Shadur Sanders in the fifth round. Have him come in. Shadur Sanders could have came in this year, and this is going to sound crazy. He would have ran the system just as good, if not better, than Brock Purdy, in my opinion. See, I may be wrong. In my opinion, he would have ran the 49ers system just as good, and if not better, as Brock Purdy, and their skill set is very similar, and Shadur has a better arm, in my opinion. So it's just like,
But they drafted a quarterback with a torn ACL.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I know a lot of 49ers fans get in this, like, mindset when it comes to Brock Purdy. Like, he took us to an NFC championship. He took us to a Super Bowl. But so did Jimmy G. Yeah. Jimmy G took you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's Kyle Shanahan. He's the guy. Like, put your trust in Kyle Shanahan. I don't fully buy into him as, like, he's a genius, but in terms of offensive scheme, but I don't buy into him as a culture guy. But if you're going to buy into Kyle Shanahan, still have him on your team, then buy into him. Like, buy into him, trust in him, believe in him. Keep doing what's working until you actually find a guy that can take Kyle Shanahan's system and not just be as good as his system, but be better than the system. Because that's what it is. Brock Purdy is just the system. He's not elevating it. He's just
like if Brock Purdy were a legit top 5 quarterback, pay him. But
100%.
He knows he's not. They know he's not. And so what the Niners are doing is what, like, any average NFL franchise would do is, I mean, the Cardinals did it. They didn't really know what to do with Kyler Murray. He's good. Is he great? I don't know. We'll pay him. And you end up in this situation where it's like you're paying big time money to a quarterback who's not quite in that tier. It's a tough place to be. You've been there for a minute. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. Kyler has potential, but he just hasn't realized it.
That's even the difference between a Kyler Murray and a Brock Purdy. Like when Kyler Murray plays at his best, like Kyler Murray has like top 3 running legs in the division.
Correct. Didn't he average like 7.5 yards a carry last year?
That's what I'm saying. In the NFL, like Kyler Murray, he gets out of the pocket, it's an automatic 10 yards, automatic first down. It's probably Lamar, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray when it comes to legs. Like he gets out of the pocket, he can go all the way. Like Brock Purdy doesn't have that ability. Kyler Murray also has the arm talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you're just paying the guy because for contentment. I feel like because he's
stability, no drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. Like
it makes you feel good.
Yeah,
feel like we got it all under control on this side over here.
Exactly. That's why you pay Brock Purdy.
But like it makes you feel good until you lose week 1 to the. I'm not saying they're going to lose to the Seahawks week 1. Well, I did predict that. But if they were to lose week 1 to the Seahawks and Sam Darnold, all of a sudden you're looking at that contract like, damn.
Exactly.
And like you said, if you're all in with Kyle, and I'm not sure they're all in with Kyle, by the way, this might be the ultimatum to Kyle. Like this is your last quarterback, make it work. But if you really believed in Kyle, isn't that the kind of coach that you could say, you know what, we're not going to spend big time money on a quarterback unless he's legitimately a future Hall of Famer. Otherwise, we're going to place our trust in Kyle. He can make it work with Mac Jones. He can make it work with Shadur Sanders. He made it work with Brock, and that's only more proof that he can make it work with the next young quarterback. Trey Lance notwithstanding, he was an aberration who wasn't experienced.
Yeah, 100%. I just don't like. I think they're just content. Like they don't want to get better right now. Like I don't see the 49ers. Like I look at the other teams in the division and even the Seahawks, like they're willing to take a step back just to get a little bit forward. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see the
Cardinals made some serious signings this offseason to get better.
Yeah,
Josh Sweat.
I see the 49ers ending up in this like Saints era. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like
solid, but
mediocre, and like they don't like sometimes you just gotta break it down to build it up. Like you gotta break it down. And I don't see them being willing to really break it down. Like I understand they got rid of Deebo Samuel, but they're not like, let's just invest in the offensive line. They invested in the defensive line last season. Believe in your guys, and try to develop some young talent.
But you're right though. Like when you say they're just kind of content, it's like they're gonna say, "Well, everyone said we were being cheap. We spent money." Yeah, but you didn't spend money to make yourself better. You spent money to lock in certain players that you think are foundational, and that's great. But those players were on the team that went 6-11 last year.
100%.
So
that is one of the things about like 49ers in the media that I don't understand. Like, every other team in the division got better. And when I'm looking at it, okay, if Christian McCaffrey comes back, then the 49ers will be better. But when I look at it, it's like the 49ers got worse and everybody got better. But you guys are expecting to win more games, even with the worst roster playing. I mean, even with the worst, the least strength of schedule in the league. Yeah. Like, you're expecting to win more games. I just don't see it. Like, the NFL is going to get better. Like, most of the teams that were trash last year had high draft picks, so they got better. They had cap rooms, so they got better. The Panthers got better. Guys that you're expecting to play against and just roll over, everybody got better while you got worse. And
they'll be like, well, did we get better? Not yet, but we got younger and we got a little bit more cost effective and we trimmed the fat. And it's like, and our schedule's easier than last year. It's like, yeah, all of that could be true, but that doesn't mean that you got better. You still went 1-5 in your division and you still got to face those teams again.